And the funny thing, I gotta say this, y'all, forgive me, but hashtag everyone's battlefield. I think Battlefield 1 was more everyone's battlefield because more people had it. I think that was more like everyone's battlefield.
Hello everybody, welcome to another rip-roaring good time of a game talk. My name's Keith.
My name's Will.
Will? Excuse what?
Okay, Keith.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, folks, we just filmed that hour and a half long Red Dead talk. So we're going to try and go through this really fast. This is just a cute little follow-up. Yeah, that you saw a week ago. This is a cute little follow-up to a video that we did earlier this year. One of my personal favorites that we've done, which was, because we got to get a little bit political. It was the Battlefield 5 controversy.
Well, I think let's both of us take a deep breath. Because I think both of us are on a high speed. Yeah. It felt like we just ran a marathon. We got to the end of you may go back and watch our Red Dead game talk. If you want to split it over the next 3 months, you can, because it was really long. But we're at the end of filming that. We want to do this as well. You get a little backlog action. And it feels like we ran a marathon.
Yeah.
Looking back on the beginning of the video, I couldn't even see where we started. So I just want to let's take a deep breath, and we'll talk about Battlefield.
Okay. That's why people always tell you to take deep breaths. That was good.
It feels good. You want one more?
Yeah, let's go for one more.
God, it works. It works.
Folks at home, I wish y'all tried it with this the second time. Try it if you want.
The first time probably caught you off guard.
Yeah. Hopefully this is about the second time that they were in it with us. Mm-hmm. So we did a video a few months ago on Battlefield 5, which was the controversy around the reveal of that game. Because it was revealed to be, the story mode is about a woman with a hook arm fighting on the front lines in World War II. And a lot of people were like, this is not entirely realistic. And then Patrick Soderlund had that famous classic interview.
Yes, that was where we had it.
Featuring such classic lines as, don't like it, don't buy it, how am I going to explain this to my daughter, and these people are uneducated. Those are just some of the highlights. So we're just going to check back in to see how Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 5.
We also had a video, was it the Call of Duty pre-orders were down or the Battlefield pre-orders were down?
It was part of that. They were related.
Those were the same
Yeah, because we saw the pre-orders.
That was why.
Yeah, because the pre-orders had gone way down, and we were kind of linking it back to that.
Okay.
And
let's report on it.
So Battlefield 5 came out. It's one of those weird things because EA will do that thing where if you buy the really expensive version of the game, you can play it on November 15th. But if you just buy the $60 version, you can play it on the 20th. So it came out around on the 20th, and I work at GameStop now, so I know this personally. Just mere days after the game came out, during the Black Friday sales, that game was $29.99. And that's a $60 game.
Well, are you saying I should not have asked for it for Christmas?
Oh no, Keith, you asked for it for Christmas? We can't do this video now.
My mom said, she was like, hey, are there any games you want for Christmas? And it was right after that dastardly Michael P. Huber on Easy Allies. I just talked about how much fun he had playing it and how much fun he had doing multiplayer. And I was thinking like, man, Huber, I gotta play this game, man. Why are you doing this to me? And I tweeted at him, and he liked the tweet, and he apologized. He was like, I'm sorry, I hate you out so bad. And I was like, dude, I'm hyped up. And my mom, that moment was like, hey, is there any games you want? I was like, I think I want Battlefield 5. And so,
Keith, to be perfectly honest, I think you'll have a fine time with it.
I will.
The way that it seems is that it's pretty mediocre to about the same as Battlefield 1 was.
And that'll work.
But honestly, the reason that a lot of people haven't bought it, I mean, the only real thing I can link it back to is maybe people just didn't have enough money to buy Red Dead and Call of Duty and Battlefield. But I would just like to think that a lot of it was because of Patrick Soderlund's interview.
Sure.
But
if I get it, it's free.
Yeah, exactly.
My
You didn't give EA that money, so it doesn't matter.
She
but
wipes her butt with $60.
So apparently during this whole thing, in the 6 months between this, people started a hashtag called #NotMyBattlefield. Not my president.
Yeah, okay.
Classic. And so EA had a launch party for Battlefield 5 in Sweden, which apparently DICE is based out of Sweden, which this is all starting to make sense now. But they had a launch party there, and while someone was out there talking about the game, they had this big poster behind it. We have a picture of on Twitter.
Yeah.
They didn't publicly do this, but some people that were there took pictures of it. They had a big thing that said #everyonesbattlefield, and they had quotes from angry comments quoted on this thing behind the guy, invoking the ire of the internet again. Did y'all learn nothing? No. You made fun of these people once. You had to knock the game down to $30 in the first few days, and y'all are still going? Keith, you gotta admire it on some level. You gotta admire it on some level. They're just sticking to it.
You just wrapped yourself in raw beef and went into the woods, man.
But, and the funny thing, I gotta say this, y'all, forgive me, but #everyone's battlefield. I think Battlefield 1 was more everyone's battlefield because more people had it. I think that was more like everyone's battlefield. This is more like Snowflake's battlefield. I'm just kidding. But yeah, just a little amusing story I wanted to bring to you today, Keith. Doesn't that just flabbergast you?
No, it's more like if you want to do that if Patrick Soderlund wants to do that in his own house, and like him and his daughter can read angry comments, he's like, we sure got him, we're so rich. Aren't you glad you can play as a girl with a hook hand daughter? Do that in your own house, but you asked for it. You bent over and you said, prison boys, let me have it. Because you just let them see. You let them see that you were trying to make fun of the internet, and no one succeeds.
No one makes it out alive.
No one succeeds at making fun of the collective internet. You can make fun of a pocket. You don't like incels? Nobody should. Incels are bad, and our incels need to be quarantined. If you feel that way, you are a bad person, and you need help. See, I can attack just the incels.
Yeah.
They can't do anything. You can't find me. Come try to find me. I mean, don't do that.
They're gonna attack us. Incel.me is coming.
You saw the last video. I have at least one gun. Anyway, what I'm saying is, attack a pocket. Yeah. Attack just the alt left that are championing the hook hand. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. But if you go for the whole internet, you asked for it. Yeah. You went for the biggest grizzly bear out there. He's clothed in iron armor. This grizzly bear has chainsaws for teeth. You can't touch this grizzly bear. Mm-hmm. Just try to make the internet happy. That's what we do.
Yeah. But yeah, total misfire all across the board. Like I said, though, still kind of respected a little bit. It's hilarious to me.
I mean, is it probably respectable to say, like, you know what, the internet took us out back behind the woodshed and beat us senseless back whenever we had that first problem? Is it a little bit respectable that we can say, you know what, no, internet, it's everyone's battlefield. We don't care what you got to say, but
that's basically them going up there and saying
yeah. Whenever the problem is whenever your livelihood is on the line, mm-hmm. you try to make people happy.
Yeah, and they didn't do it. Keith, I would like to say, I'm going to put this in a macro, but this is one feel-good moment out of a few of this year, really, where it's consumers showing the power that we actually have. Because so many times people will start to complain about things, and you'll hear this a lot, that's just a vocal minority. Uh-huh. All these people reading these comments, that is 5% of the people that go into a GameStop and buy a video game. Mm-hmm. But we're starting to realize that, no, we actually do have a little bit of power. Mm-hmm. With a lot of people are upset about how Disney's doing Star Wars, and there was a pretty formal boycott of Solo, mm-hmm. and Solo made like 1/3 of the money that any other Star Wars movie made. So that's just going to show that, like,
I gotta agree.
All you big suits out there that don't take us seriously, think we're just a bunch of net beards. I mean, maybe we are, but we got the money, so listen to us.
Yeah, that's the whole thing too. Is that if it's something that's really not a problem, it is only a vocal minority. Mm-hmm. If it's something that's really not a big deal, then it is only. It's like with the Spider-Man suit. I think with the DLCs, there's a lot of backlash that Insomniac got because they didn't put the Raimi Spider-Man movie suit in there, the Tobey Maguire suit. Mm-hmm. I think there was like some pretty heavy backlash that people who are upset about that gave Insomniac, like, they completely forgot about how great the game was, and they're like, we hate you, Insomniac, you suck, you can't do this, you suck. And whenever the whole thing is that we found out this week that they were working on it. They just couldn't talk about it. Like the suit was being worked on as all these people were tossing turds at Insomniac, mm-hmm. and it was really, I'm assuming it would hurt my feelings if I was doing that, and I can't tell you, like, no, I promise we're not that stupid. We promise we're making it. You got to get deals with Marvel, with like
Sony,
Sony, all these people who own, like, mm-hmm. it makes sense that it was a struggle or whatever, and there's a lot of people coming out and say, hey, there are people out here. We want you to, like, people who are pleased with something, they don't usually go to the internet. Like, you and I can talk about it, but a lot of people who are pleased with something don't fire insults at Insomniac or whatever. Mm-hmm. But there was a vocal minority doing that, and it made them feel bad, rightly so. But there are people coming out now and saying, hey, that is just a vocal minority. All of us we're all still on your team. Like, look, I have 100% of this DLC already. Like, don't worry about it. You made a great game. Be proud. You were nominated for Game of the Year. Be proud of it. Yeah. So if it's something like that is stupid. If you're mad that there's not a suit in the game, That's a vocal minority. But big stuff like this, where you call a whole swath of people idiots for not liking your decision.
And they have legitimate grievances. I mean, the thing is, a lot of people that exist today, their grandfather might not still be alive, but they knew their grandpa who fought in some of these battles, that EA is going back in, taking their grandpa out of it, and putting in a woman with a hook arm and saying, no, she actually did it.
Yeah.
I can see why people could get a little bit upset about it. And they just don't see that at all. They just completely go on the defensive and hashtag everyone's battlefield.
You're right. Exactly. So I think moral of the story, I wasn't trying to undermine the fact that you're saying that we as the consumer have power. I'm saying when the issues matter, usually the consumers do have to say. Yeah. When it's not that big of a deal, a lot of times you're just going to have a bunch of jerks and get on the internet. Like when it's a fairly big deal and enough people are upset, like it's essentially just watch out. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything to anybody, but I got my way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I didn't say anything. I didn't tweet Patrick Soderling or anything. I just didn't buy the game, and it reflected in the fact that it was marked down 50% in a few days.
I might be getting the game, so who knows?
Yeah.
I did say, I'm thinking, and now reviews for Just Cause 4 are out, and that one hasn't done so well either. So now I'm thinking, like, my mom was like, any games you like? And I'm like, well, this one or this one.
Yeah.
Battlefield 5 or Just Cause 4.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, like, man, I should have just asked her for Mario Odyssey.
If you play Battlefield 5, I'll play it too, and we can talk about it. Because the thing is, Keith, I can rent games from GameStop, and we got a bunch of pre-owned copies from Battlefield 5 that I can just take home with me. So, yeah.
Well, in the meantime, please expect that video maybe. But we hope that you enjoyed this one. We hope you enjoyed us getting a little wild, a little crazy. Patrick Soderling, it is not everyone. Don't use hashtag everyone's battlefield.
How's he going to explain this to little Susie?
How are you going to explain this to your daughter? Well, she got her way. She's playing as a woman in Battlefield.
That's true.
Again, we want to reiterate as well that if you are a woman with a hook for a hand, and no matter your sexual orientation or gender identity, you be you. Don't worry about it. Also, I know there are women fighting in World War II. Don't show us those pictures, because we know that's the case. It was just, we think it was a bit of a step too far. Yeah. Because, I mean, history has spoken for itself. It was likely, you know, the front lines didn't have people with hooks for hands. Yeah. It's likely. Not to say
very likely.
And we haven't played the game, so we don't know. So if we may have egg on our face.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more fun to talk crap about something sometimes when you do it in a light and a good way.
Sometimes we just got to be a little bit mean.
Sometimes we just got a little, I will call it sassy.
Yeah, whatever. That's cool.
But we hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, we love you very